going to find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
And I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and approaches dropped to all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Oh, that Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike. Get have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly, Miller's just like trouble. He's not just second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah. And it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Hello everybody and welcome to the final round of the J2iCS Super Formula Lights League here from Interlagos, the only place to hold championship finales, as we know. It's myself, Ewan, and James Parfitt along with you here for this round of the championship. These final 2 races, 20 minutes coming up in race number 1, followed by 40 minutes in race 2, as always, with a pit stop very much looking forward to seeing what we're going to get here tonight. The Drivers' Championship is already settled, with Squilliam entering this round as champion of the J2iCS Sprint Series for Season 7. However, teams at the top, Backmarker Motorsports and Night Racing, are still fighting for that team's title. They're only 25 points apart. Squilliam told us earlier on he doesn't think it's that close, but I disagree. We'll see how close it is by the end of the night. It's the only place, as I say, James, to enjoy the final round of a championship. It's where all best championship finales are held. So I'm very glad we're here for the last round of this championship in this location.
I agree. 100%. Favourite circuit, most favoured circuit of all time. And I think the perfect place to wrap this season up. It's been very good. An interesting season. I was going to say it's been a great season, but obviously for us, we've come in quite late on in the season. So it's been good what we've seen, and I think at the end of the day, you have to finish here as well. So the event name, don't forget as well, is sponsored by Urco, and it's congrats Captain CK there as well, who I believe has had his first child.
Yes, certainly a newborn child, like yesterday, I think. So congratulations to him. And it's too far up in our broadcasting channel that we've had a couple of them just chattering amongst themselves. So everything we need is miles up the is miles up the thread now. Anyway, yes, he had a newborn child, I think yesterday or the day before. So congratulations to him, and for obvious reasons, I suspect won't be here today. But that's fine, because it's all new. You'll know about that. I can't offer any insight there, but you know.
Trust me, it's a good excuse, all right? To get out of it.
Yeah.
Get out of it, because at the end of the day, having a baby does take up a lot of your life. So I just hope he's had his sleep beforehand, because he'll probably need it now.
Yeah. That is certainly true. This is Notovin, who's running around at the moment in first position in this qualifying session, 27.6 from him. I haven't seen a time from Squilliam yet, which might explain that a little bit. We do quite rarely see Notovin actually on pole in these races. He finds qualifying quite difficult sometimes. And so we could well be seeing a similar story again here. Don't actually have the numbers of pole position qualifying performances from each just for the moment, but it is pretty rare for Notovin to actually take pole position in these series. It's just over 2 tenths his margin at the moment, although there you go, Jason Winucki goes to the top by 4 tenths of a second, and maybe that's a little bit of a surprise for the driver who's currently down in 9th place in the drivers' standings.
Yeah, look, dude, I am a big believer of people who have their favourite tracks, right? And people have, the circuits that they go well at, and then they have the circuits that they don't go well at. And some people, like Jason, just might go well at this circuit. I think that's the thing. I think that's why a lot of people put emphasis onto licenses and I-rating and SR and all that. It's all rubbish. To be blatantly honest, you either like the track, you don't like the track. If you're driving an oval and you're driving plate racing, it's whether or not you're going to get to the end because somebody might take you out. Most of this is chance, and however, one thing we are sure of though is Notovin for the 5 rounds I believe we've done. I don't think it's got pole position once.
You'll be the one to go to on that because I haven't done all of them, but yeah, as you say, it has been a bit of a struggle sometimes for him to qualify on pole position. Didn't improve last time round, unfortunately for him. I think he had an invalid lap time, although I'm not entirely sure. That everyone does seem to be improving at the moment. In fact, the top 5 in this session all improved on their previous best last time around. I wonder whether Jason Winucki's going to do it again here. 2 personal best sectors, 2 not so good sectors at the 4 so far. Another personal best in the final, but this could be an improvement. He goes over the line. It doesn't look like it's a time at all. So he must have gone off track somewhere because it's not counted at all for him. Still not even halfway through this qualifying session though, and that maybe explains why Squilliam hasn't been out onto the circuit yet, or maybe he just wants to go from the back to the front because he already knows that he's champion.
That could be a thing as well. Now there was obviously a challenge set to us.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I should have got to that. He's got a qualifying ban, that's why he's at the back. But it might be a bit of fun anyway.
That was because he was naughty and Zolder.
You can put it like that, yeah.
Well, we can. He called a mass pile-up, and they ain't even got down to turn one. No, there wasn't. You know what I mean? We didn't even get down to turn one. And poor old Squidgy there got it all completely wrong, didn't we? We're under a challenge from Urko as well. I don't know if you've read up through that thread that they were talking about earlier on. Is basically Urko's challenge to the broadcasters. Basically, is to not say the championship man name properly. Apparently you can call him everything bar the name that he is.
Well, I've already called him the correct name about 5 times, and we've only been going about 5 minutes. So
you should have read up through the thread, Mr. O'Leary.
I did see it. I read it a while ago, so I've obviously.
You slept since then?
I haven't slept since then, but I have had minutes pass, and that is enough. So minutes have passed since I've read it, and not even hours, but minutes.
Yeah.
So I've forgotten. So there we go. We'll have to begin from now, if you like.
All right, go for
Start the broadcast again. Just start it all again. No. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Of course, we'll probably be talking about him Fairdale through this first race. Be interesting to see how far he gets through the field again after that qualifying ban. Prince Adam making his way up towards the line at the moment. He's going to have a pretty big weight on his shoulders here in that sense, because he's the teammate for Backmarker Motorsports here, and so good qualifying needed from him, and he currently goes to 4th place for night racing. It's Notovin and Bozak. Bozak at the moment is in 8th place, but he got off to a pretty slow start in qualifying. He wasn't out there for a little while. Now he is, and Notovin is in 2nd place. So at the moment they are gaining points, but not very many. There's not loads available in this first race.
Yeah, there's not. The winner gets 14, and then it's 11, and 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Actually, they all get 2 points, but below 9th place. So it's not this one. It's going to be the 35-point feature, where Notovin and Bozak can really close in on the boys at Backmarker, depending on how far, obviously, Captain Squidgy gets there at the end of the first one. But I think it's going to be exciting. I think that's the thing with these. They put on a show for us for the rounds that we've been here, and it's been a great pleasure to cover it for them. And hopefully Interlagos should be no different. I know we got 15 cars on the race circuit, but sometimes the 15 cars at certain circuits fit, and I think they fit here. So I'll be excited to see how they get on. And it's not a massive time disparity either. You know, sometimes between this amount of cars, you might see a 126, and then your next one, or after that, would be a 27, and then 28, and then the people at the back are doing 29 and 30s. We haven't got that. So we're still in for close racing, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's certainly what we're hoping. Gavin Amman making his way towards the line at the moment, has improved in a couple of his middle sectors there, moves up to 10th place. Sneezy Jr. as well, from outside the top 10, will be improving here. Ryan Schwab, we were on board with just a second ago, probably won't be because of his sectors not looking fantastic. Here's Sneezy Jr. though, up towards the line, and is this going to, well, he's certainly going to lift himself off the bottom here, and he does, to 9th place. Omega just in behind as well, after Dutch goes over the line actually. Omega coming in from 13th place. Now he's on the bottom and does improve, but not any positions gained for him. Bozak's got a pretty important job to do here. If they can both finish ahead of Prince Adam and Squilliam here, then they'll be laughing night racing. But let's see as Bozak goes over the line. I don't know if this will be a big improvement. He jumps up a couple of places though, because it is so close. As we said, top 5 now for Bozak. That's both drivers inside the top 5.
Why are you there, DC? Shinkao on the curb. Oh, brother. Never good.
Not ideal.
No, not ideal. And you failed at the challenge already.
Well, I've given up.
Shocking. Do you know the thing is, right? They issue things like this to us, and then they turn around and go and do it. Do you know how hard it is? Or something completely different that you've been used to calling them for half a season. It's like, it's an impossible job. It's an impossible job.
Can't complain too much as commentators. I mean, just chattering away.
We are, generally, yeah. As our very good friend Mr. Sweeney puts it, we sit down for 2 hours talking about virtual race cars at virtual race circuits. So, you know.
Yep.
Or he uses the
True.
terminology pretend race cars at pretend race circuits.
Yeah, well, it's not entirely incorrect.
No, it's not. Unfortunately,
So,
it's not Mr. O'Leary. He's spot on, to be blatantly honest. But
Well,
the difference is we get to have great fun at the process of doing it.
Soon, it'll be pretend people too. So.
Oh, don't even go there. I have seen that AI video. They are getting closer and closer to AI commentators. You're all going to be out of a job soon. JPB will just be AI generated.
I've always disputed that because AI commentators have been in things like FIFA for decades and they're rubbish, even now.
Well, yeah, but have you seen the? Did you see the recent one? That's one that had. Oh man, let me. I'll have a hunt. There was a video released of AI commentators come out, right, and they are literally, and I say they're getting closer. They're getting closer. They had a whole story. They had the kind of the whole sort of show that they were putting on. The only thing that they didn't have, which was quite interesting, was the fact that their commentators was 100% all of the time. It was like it was going to be like this all the way around the race, and it's like, oh, bro, you're like,
so that's annoying. This is what I mean.
You need to chill.
All these clips are all well and good, but you couldn't listen to them for hours on end.
No.
You just couldn't, and we're a long way away from that. Anyway, we've got woefully off circuit, almost as far off circuit as DC you got just there, out of turn 5. But we're further off circuit. If we were driving a car, we'd be in downtown Sao Paulo. That's how off track we are.
Ooh.
Anyway, let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing. Good evening to Captain CK, who's found the time to come into YouTube and say he's just here for an Urco win, and why not as well?
Congratulations on the baby.
Yes, congratulations to him. As the name of this event, this very event suggests. And I guess that's why he's cheering on Urco this evening. This is Prince Adam making his way up the hill here. It looks like he's going to run out of time, although he's done a good job holding fort here for his team, Backmarker Motorsports. Ahead of Bozak, but just behind Notovin, and so on balance, that's quite just okay. Just needs his teammate to get up to him now in this 20-minute race, and it's going to be a good one here in the opening heat of the day. And speaking of heat, it's going to be quite warm as well, middle of the day pretty much for this one. Jason Winicki is going to be on pole. The only driver in the 126s there ahead of Notovin, who couldn't quite get onto pole position. Prince Adam holds fort well for his team in third ahead of Blackburn Wallace, and then Bozak is in the top 5. The other part of that team, of course, with Notovin. Then it's Urco, who is in 6th place ahead of Dylan Meyer and DC, who are sharing row 4. Caesar Jr. and Ryan Schwab share row 5. Kevin Ammerman and Dutch are both just outside the top 10. Omega, the final driver, to set a time. Squilliam and Nipper just did not set times. Squilliam got a qualifying ban for his antics on the way towards turn number 1 at Zolder. In case you didn't see it, it was quite a pile-up. That's for sure.
It was very spectacular. I'm going to be honest.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was quite spectacular. So yeah, he needs to come from the back and is going to make everybody wait by the looks of things. It's only he who we're waiting for now. We're waiting for Prince Adam now as well. It's like a team tactic to make everybody wait, and they might well do so for another minute.
Yeah, why not? There's no rush, is there? He's champion. He can do what he wants. You know what I mean?
Well,
let him crack on.
True.
So fair play to him.
Walking around like he owns the place, but which of course he does. Anyway, we'll get on in about 30 seconds time. As I say, 20 minutes in this opening race to come. 11 a.m. in the day, so it's not quite the heat of the day, but we are ready to go racing. And Prince Adam looks like he's starting from pit lane. What a disaster for the team that could be. And Notovin gets off to a flying start as well. It's all falling into place for night racing as Bozak goes up the outside. It's a terrible start for Jason Winicki, I'm afraid, who's now trapped in the middle of a 4-wide moment on the way towards turn number 1. Here they go. They'll all make it through. Will they? Just about. They're 2 banks of 3 wide back there. It's craziness. Jason Winicki goes straight back into it all, and that's a terrible start for him. Prince Adam's come out the pit lane in 2nd place. What on earth is going on in this race? He started from pit lane. He's now side by side for the lead. He's actually advanced his position by starting in the pit lane. What a bizarre start to this race.
I have no idea what just went on and how Prince Adam got to 2nd from the pit lane. I can't even answer that one. That was very, very bizarre. He should have waited, or at least I would have thought on that one, but he's actually up one place by going into the pit lane. Not having got a great start there as well. It was all going off further back with Schwab and Eat My Dust and Woniecki. Woniecki just didn't go anywhere on the start. It was almost like he was just stuck there, and he didn't move. He didn't move for quite a while, and he got absolutely swamped, and is now being down and being chased by Dutch. So, yeah, for Woniecki, that was not a great start whatsoever on that one. Notovin's flying, Prince Adam up one for being in the pits, and then Black Bob Wallace chasing him down. Oh, and as I say that as well.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear. Stacey Jr. as well involved here with Jason Woniecki, I'm afraid. Let's see what's happened down here at the final corner. It's been a terrible start for the pole sitter, I'm afraid. Into the final turn, looks like it's on his own. He's up the curb, on the power too early, and it's difficult for everybody to avoid. I think Sneeze Jr. did initially, but then spun on the grass while he was trying to re-accelerate afterwards. So that is a shame for him. Prince Adam up to second place. That's it. Oh dear, look at this. He's got a real fight in his hands here, although maybe he's slowing everybody down for Squilliam to try and catch up and take some of those positions himself here. But that would be quite a sly tactic if indeed it is one, as he defends here from second place. And he's going to be on the outside for Ferradura. This could be quite tricky as Wallace down the inside. He's making a good fist of this. Down the inside he goes in towards turn number 8, and that is pretty successful. Adam goes very wide, and he'll hold the inside through turn 9, but here comes Urko round the outside, and he'll sting up the inside with his teammate as well, DC, who's also looking for a position down the inside. Bozak has lost places here, I'm afraid, but now he's alongside his team's championship rival, and they'll run down the hill together, and they will get back into line together here. But Bozak loses a couple of places out of that. Prince Adam loses 5, and all of a sudden they are making gains here, night racing in the team's championship.
Yeah, they are, and that's the thing. But then again, don't forget, obviously Bozak and Prince Adam are fighting out in the solos as well. So there's only 4 points between them in the championship as well, the drivers' championship. So they've been having, they've been having a right little ding dong. So it's double for Bozak and Prince Adam. Notovin at the moment, there's no chance of him catching Squilliam. Squilliam's already champion. Notovin cannot go any closer. So Notovin's going to be second place. But it'll be what the obviously Prince Adam and Bozak can do there with this one going on together. Obviously Urko sitting currently, where is Urko in the championship? He's in 4th, isn't he? Battling away there as well. So lots still to play for these middle packs, but I don't know if Adam was actually holding them up there, or had he been told to let them through again due to the fact that he somehow gained positions off his pit lane start.
I would doubt that, but I'm also doubting my claim that he's slowing everybody down into Squilliam here, who seems to have caught up regardless, although that is partly down to the battling that he really helped to ignite there. Bozak does slide through now on the inside and gets up to 5th place. So at the moment, they'd be getting 20 points from this race, night racing. Now that's not even the value of their deficit, which is at 25, of course. And Backmarker Motorsports, who are quite ironically at the top, are currently in 6th and 8th position in the field. That would only gain them 8 points, so it would be a loss of 12. It would be a loss of half of their advantage going into the final race, but it's a long way from over just yet. DC and Urko make their way up towards the line here. They don't look like they're working together terribly well here in 3rd and 4th position. They're exchanging positions here quite often and defending on one another here as well, as Squilliam goes down the inside now looking for a position. This will be for a point if he can get through, and he does get through on Meyer, and so that's 7th place now, and a point gain for Backmarker Motorsports. Their advantage now to 14 in the championship.
Yeah, it's still all to play for though. I don't think this is going to be done yet. As we said, we seem to think it's closer than what Squilliam thinks, so I'm quite interested to see how this one pans out. I think, as you say, it's going to be 14 going into the next race, and then obviously it's a bigger points score for the next race, so I'd be interested in that. The problem we're going to have as well, don't forget, there's a top 8 reverse, and that man at the moment is sitting on the front row with Eat My Dust next to him, so that could also go in their favour, because they're going to be higher up than Bozak and obviously Notovin in front. So we'll have to keep an eye and see how that one pans out. But Notovin at the moment is dominating, 3.3 seconds up the road. As you say, Black Bob Wallace is in 2nd. DC and Urko, you are right, they're not working together. They are losing time to the people behind. But then again, I think if I remember correctly, was it Zola? They weren't exactly working together there either. If I remember correctly, I've slept since then, so bear with me. But yeah, still action all the way through. Prince Adam now side by side with Bozak.
This will be another 2-point gain for Backmarker Motorsport if they could get it. Oh, and there through the middle goes Squilliam, goodness me. And through comes Meyer as well, is that? Or is it Emadust? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it's close. Contact. Definite contact made there. And there's in the wall. In the wall in a big way. Prince Adam's out of the race, and so's Bozak by the looks of things. They could be both out of this. Prince Adam goes down to the very back of the field, I'm afraid, and that's a disaster for him. There's his spin on the curb, and straight into him goes Bozak. 2 of the team's championship competitors glide here at turn 2.
That kicked off with them going 3 wide. That's where that all started from. And I'll try and get back to where it was. That generally was a bit crazy. Because they started further back here. And you see Squilliam goes through, and then Emadust just takes it 3 wide into the corner. He gets pinched, and then unfortunately for Adam, he's on the grass on the inside, spins, and then Bozak and Emadust just in the wall. So it ended up basically not working out too well for all 3 of them in that 3 wide scenario. Oh, he's gonna go! Oh, he did go, DC.
Oh, and good avoidance as well from Meyer, who had to get around there, and Dutch goes through, as does Ryan Schwab, and here goes Squilliam onto the podium, by the way. Squilliam's going to get straight through. He seems to have very good straight line speed, by the way, Squilliam, and so did Emadust, although he's in pit lane now with Prince Adam and Bozak, who are both getting repairs, and they're going to sort of offset each other, if you like, in the team's championship. So Squilliam's through. He's up to 3rd. That means that Backmarker Motorsports would be losing just 5 points to Night Racing. Their advantage would be 20 as the race stands at the moment.
Yeah, and that's tough to overhaul when you've got 2 drivers scoring points. I don't know. I think it could be Backmarkers at this moment in time. I've got to be a little bit honest, but it's never over till the Bat Lady sings, right? We saw what happens before, and I'm not surprised if we don't see it again. Just take Zolder. Wiped out half the field off the front row. So, let's see what happens going in. But I can't see Backmarker losing the team as well. Sorry, Mr. O'Leary.
He said earlier that he thought he was going to be closer than William said.
Well, I know. That's the thing. With both drivers running, it would have been. But now they're not losing a bigger points, are they? When we were talking about it, they were down to 14. Now it's back out to 20.
I still think it's a lot closer than they're letting on anyway, personally. Because, just to... For example, even in the situation at the moment, even if there were 20... I know this is a little bit of a long shot, but... I'll actually do some maths on that and I'll get back to you. But, yeah, I still think even at the start of the day, this is closer than Squilliam was letting on. I said to him, is this partly down to what you hope it's going to be like rather than what you actually think it's going to be like? He sort of confirmed it, so I don't know. Bozak, by the way, needs to get into the top 8 if he needs to gain any points, as you alluded to earlier, James. Any position from 9th on backwards, you get 2 points just for starting the race, so he'll get those, of course, and so will Prince Adam, even if he doesn't turn another lap here. However, he will not get any more points unless he gets into the top 8, which would be a minor miracle if he could do that.
Yeah, not going to do that at the moment. Currently a lap down.
If he could get past Emadust, that'd be useful, I suppose, for starting position. But other than that, there's not much to go at here for the remainder of this race. No,
there's nothing to do. He's got to get at least to, 8th place to get 3 points. And that's, that's a tough order last for even Max Verstappen, I've got to be honest, to go a lap through the whole field and then come back and get to 8th. Bozak would need a miracle from Jesus for that to happen. On that one. So, never going to happen. Unfortunately, Bozak could be where he is at the moment with Emadust and Prince Adam. So, and that was a crazy move, though. None of them wanted to back out, did they, going into turn 1? And it was just literally insane.
It was good entertainment, but I'm afraid not a good outcome.
No.
In that one, unfortunately. You see, just on the back of Schwab here, as that's Emadust going through on Dutch just up ahead, by the way. He's very quick, Emadust, but very far back now. He's on the outside in towards turn number 1. Needs to be a little bit careful annoying those lead lap drivers. But he is clearly quicker, that much is obvious, but just needs to make sure he gets clear and gets through cleanly, if you like, so that he can then go away and keep running his pace. But he needs to be careful here. Just trying to crowd him out of room and going around the outside now. That's rather brave, actually, from Dutch around the outside, and he'll come back on again right in front of Modest, who really doesn't know what to do now. We'll pull to the inside, I think, and try and come back through. No, it still goes on. And now he does let him through. Sort of needs to do that. And now Schwab is right there. That's what Dutch was worried about, letting Modest through and letting Schwab and DC catch up. But that's exactly what's happened, and now he'll be really defending for 6th place.
Yeah, I think he's going to need to here, because Dutch was Ryan Schwab, was looking fairly quick. So it'd be interesting to see how Dutch manages to hold on to him if he can. Going into Juncal now, the left-hander, of course, you're going to open it up, take a little bit of the curb on the outside. There you go. And then run it up, all the way up through to the beat of the boxes, all the way round to turn number 1. We're going to tuck him right behind. He's going to get this done. He should get this done. And he's going to be able to make it through the outside. Depending on now what Ryan Schwab's going to be, how brave is he going to be? Coming down into turn 1 now, Dutch on the inside. Is Dutch going to send it in deep on us? Well, I'm expecting to see a red car very, very shortly. There it is. I don't think he's going to be able to hold it on. If Ryan Schwab wants to open it up, he could have opened it up and let him and blocked him off there. He didn't, and Dutch has gone back through again.
And look at DC here getting the slipstream on both of them. He had a better run. He's got the choice of lanes to go for as well. I think he decides to stay behind here, actually, as Schwab goes back down the inside. Oh, no, he did go for it. Oh, there's contact. Another 3-wide moment ending in disaster, I'm afraid, this time at turn 4. And it's Ryan Schwab who's the main victim. Out in the wall. He reverses out of it and gets back going again. It's a bit of a miracle his car's still working, actually. But he's back in the race, I'm afraid, after getting in the wall. It was DC down the inside. Schwab was very wary to give DC room. I don't think the driver on the outside, Dutch, quite understood why Schwab was getting so close to him. And I don't think Dutch quite gave room for 2 cars down his inside. Maybe not realising quite what had happened for DC there, but he, incidentally, is up to 6th place.
Yeah, and Dutch is broke.
Oh, no.
Front left is not even rotating. It's not even on the floor. It's not even on the tarmac, is it, unfortunately, for that one. But that was just another one of them moments. DC's lost, you can see from Ryan Schwab's, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick it up. He's lost the whole back side of his pod. There you go. You can literally see into the engine now as well. His whole pod cover's gone. So he's another man that's broken. 3-wide scenario is not really working out so far. 2 attempts and neither have come out successful.
We're 0 out of 2 on 3-wide attempts, which is a shame, because it's entertaining, but unfortunately it hasn't lasted very long. 6 minutes to go in this race, by the way. I've been doing some maths. If things were to stay, yeah, careful, steady. If things were to stay as they are right now, which is unlikely, but that's the situation we are working with. Backmarker Motorsports would lose 5 points, let's say, tonight rating. That would give them a 20-point lead going into the final race, Backmarker Racing. And if either driver from Backmarker Racing, either Squilliam or Prince Adam were to finish in the top 4, there is no way they can be caught. So that is all they need. Just one of their drivers in the top 4, and none of them can be caught, because the minimum points they'll get is 40. So the other team will need to score at least 60 points, which means them both finishing on the podium. So Nostrovin and Bozak will both have to be on the podium in any case, even if Backmarker Motorsports have a disaster, as Bozak makes that task just a little bit more difficult, as he's overtaken by Dust. Obviously it won't matter for points in this race, but it just matters for your positioning for the next one.
Yeah, but you did say Heat Dust looked quick, and to be fair, Bozak has not looked quick, no offence, dude. On that one, if you watch this back and think, how rude, unfortunately, you just been off the pace. It's not your fault, it's just not working for you. But he's going to have a go at Heat Dust again, going down here. Is he going to be able to make this through? That's going to be the question. Into Interlagos to go. No, Bozak's going to be just sat behind him, and Heat Dust is going to roar ahead, should we say, and keep going. It's getting a little bit closer now. Jason Wonecki is closing in on trying to get onto DC. It just keeps filtering that second marker. that is obviously Bozak and Eat My Dust in front of us. So the more they fight, the more that DC is going to be brought in by Jason.
I think this will be annoying DC a little bit, to be honest with you, at this stage. It could be quite tricky for him to really.
They are blue flags as well, and you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit annoying for him at the moment. But also, in the same way, they are quicker than him. So if they got their act together and worked together, obviously they wouldn't be working together. They're not on the same team or anything. But if they were working together, they'd easily drive away, I think, from DC. But the problem is they keep fighting. DC keeps catching, and they sort of get blue flags creeping up on them very quickly, if you like. Here comes Bozak again to the outside, and neither of them are going to back off when it's like this, when they're side by side, even though there's no points available for it. Bozak goes round the outside this time and gets through into 13th place, but how long's this one going to last? Because, as I say, Just is very quick. He's in the grass there. He's got had for a long time the fastest lap of this race, but he's just been overtaken by Squilliam, who earns another point for his team by getting that fastest lap point.
Yeah, he will, but then he's also closing in on Black Bob Wallace, so I'm going to be quite impressed on that one. Eat My Dust is going around the outside of us there, and I expect to see a blue and yellow car coming up very, very shortly. Not at the moment. However, DC is in here, and he's pressurising these two to let him through. Again, I don't know, obviously, Eat My Dust is probably quicker than DC, but I don't know if Bozak is. And as you say, for DC, this is just frustrating. These are technically blue flags. They should technically get out of the way, not fight in front of him. I know every league's different, you know, and all that, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what should be happening, because DC's fighting for a 6th and 7th with Winegi is behind him, who's closing in on him. So this is not helping DC whatsoever here.
Just is trying to use this a bit to his advantage, actually, to try and get away from Bozak, because if Winucki can force Bozak to let him through as well here, then just could have a real advantage, but they're all going to get drafted off of one another here, and Bozak senses an opportunity. Just cuts it off down the inside, so the battle will continue in amongst the battle for 6th place here. DC goes wide. Oh dear, Just does get through in the end, and he will scamper away now with 13th place. The battle for 6th will now take over as Jason Winucki takes advantage of that mistake from DC, who just outbroke himself in towards turn number 1. He'll come back again into turn 4 though. Here he goes. Winucki round the outside, doesn't give a lot of room, but just enough. And he gets round the outside to get into 6th position. That was a good pass in the end. Gave just about the right amount of room to DC, and capitalises on that mistake very well.
DC is not going to be happy. I know.
In the end, it was his own mistake that undid him, and not the blue flags.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not. I could go on a blue flag rant, so I'm not going to get involved on that one. I'll leave that one to DC to argue it out with Bozak, and also Eat My Dust after that. However, as you said, Eat My Dust has scampered off up the field. Blackboard Wallace, he is under a little bit of pressure at the moment. Squilliam is closing. Notavin's done the fastest lap. We are on the final lap of the race now. Notavin with the fastest lap there towards the end. So another point for night racing.
Looks like it. As things stand, I'm hesitating because I think Squilliam might have something to say about that on the very final lap. But let's wait and see on this front. Back to 19 points now. I think the gain or the gap, sorry, between night racing and back marker racing is still pretty tall order, with Bozak having such a disappointing opening race. At one stage it was looking very good for them, looking like they were going to halve the advantage, but not anymore. Here comes Squilliam round the outside in towards Ferradura. It would be a very impressive move up here if he could manage it, and he's braking late as well as turn 8. Well, brakes too late, far too late. Now his best hope is to draft up towards the line and overtake him right at the very end.
Yeah, and that's a definite opportunity on that run out of Junkao. There is a big opportunity that he can get this if he can stay close enough for Squilliam. Into Magello they go, coming up to Junkao now, but Notavin is going to wrap this one up.
Certainly is. It's an important day for night racing. Notavin sews up 2nd place in the championship with this, and maybe it's night racing that little bit closer to a team's title. Over the line for Notavin. He wins race 1. Can Squilliam get there in time to get into 2nd place? It doesn't look like he's quite going to get there, and unless he steals the fastest lap point, it's going to be a loss here for Backmarker Racing. In fact, it's going to be Backmarker Motorsports, I should say. It's going to be a loss for them anyway. Notovin and Ozak managed to score between them 17 points for Night Racing. Backmarker Motorsports with their third position and finishing down the order score just 11. That's a gain of 6, and so it's going to, if I'm not mistaken, or is it 8? Too early in the morning. But it's going to be below 20 anyway, this gap. Still leaves them a lot to do, Night Racing, but it does bring the gap down.
Yeah, they've got to get a 1-2. They've got to get a 1-2, and they've got to rely on Eat My Dust using his strength, his speed to get in the middle of them, I think. Because, what did you say, Squilliam's got to be top 4?
The situation might have changed with that fastest lap point, so I'll redo that, but something like that, yeah, it's something in that vein for either of them, in fact, not just Squilliam, to get into the top 4. I'll get back to that though in a second as the session moves forward very gloomily indeed. Notovin takes the win by nearly 9 seconds ahead of Blackburn Wallace and Squilliam, who finishes on the podium. Urko and Dylan Meyer finish on the rest of the top 5. It is Jason Winucki who overtook DC towards the end there, but DC dropped back behind the Omega in the end for 7th place. Steve Jr. and Gavin Amman round out the top 10 with Ryan Schwab and Dutch rounding out those who finished on the lead lap. Emma Dustin Bozak had a decent battle for 13th after dropping a lap down, and Prince Adam finishes in 15th position right at the very back. And while I go away and do some maths, I'm also going to chat to Squilliam and Notovin, who've put themselves in the interview waiting room, who we can bring in one by one. Let's bring in the race winner from race 1 first of all. Notovin, welcome in. Good to have you with us. Mid-race, between races. How was that opening race for you? Were you more focused and fixated on what Bozak was doing as for the team's championship, or were you focusing on your own driving?
First 5 laps definitely was kind of hoping he'd stay in the top 5, but he had an incident, so he kind of dropped back. And then after that, I really had to focus on getting the fast lap point, and I think I got it at the end, so it's good.
I'm sure you'll be aware of the situation in the championship now. As far as my calculations goes, it's 19 points that you need to gain. Do you think that's possible in this final race?
I think it'll depend on where Squilliam and Prince Adam finish. I think if both Bozak and I could finish pretty good, and both ahead of them, we might have a more solid chance. But that's 19 points is a big gap to try to cover.
How worried about you? How worried are you about the prospect of rain in this next race? I'm seeing 23% chance, I think, at highest. Although, as it says earlier on in the season, or the note we were handed, it says that earlier on in the season there was only 11% chance at Spa, and it can still rain at any percent chance of rain, of course. So, how worried are you about that, and about these very gloomy conditions that we seem to have transformed forward towards in this warm-up session?
I'm a little worried, especially since I'll probably be starting 8th. And I didn't do any rain practice because there wasn't any rain practice when I did my practice. So, but definitely, hopefully, it will not rain on us. But I will say, if it does rain, if we start in the dry and we end in the wet, that will be quite interesting. It'll be quite fun.
Certainly will. Any predictions? Any final thoughts for this final race?
I think Squilliam's going to drive away. He had some practice in the first race about passing, but definitely, I don't know, it'll be interesting.
He may not be away. He did do about half of those in the first lap, to be fair. So, you know, it's not all one-on-one passing, but I get your point. Congratulations on winning the first race, Notovin, and thanks for coming to chat to us. Good luck for the second race.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much. And we will also have a chat with Squilliam as well here in the warm-up session, which is still ongoing. There's not an awful lot to watch right now, by the way. That's why you're seeing the gloomy fog of Interlagos. We'll bring in Squilliam now as well to have a bit of a chat with us. Welcome in, Will. Good to have you with us again. We are just over 5 minutes away from the last round of the season. How are you feeling about it? But both as an individual, starting from the mid-pack again in this second race, but also for the team. How are you feeling about it?
Feeling pretty confident. It's definitely unfortunate that Adam got tangled up in some stuff in that first race, but
I mean, it sounds bad, but luckily Bozak got tangled up with him too. So points, I think, are still kind of even. So it sucks, but we're still, I think, pretty on par as far as points go. Not even obviously gained a little bit, but I don't think any meaningful amount. So I think as long as we do good and keep our noses clean and we can just stay close to Bozak and Notivin, each of us, I think we'll be fine.
As far as my calculations go, just one of you has to finish in the top 4 to seal the championship. But don't quote me on that. I just think that's the way it might pan out. How chaotic could this start potentially be? I was quite surprised by that opening race in some of the incidents that we see. I don't know how many you really saw, but I mean, Prince Adam and Bozak themselves came together on the second or third lap of that race in a 3-wide moment. There were people coming through the field. It was yourself included. Were you surprised a little bit by the incidents in that first race? The few of them that there were.
Not really, just because this is a big draft track, especially on that main straight. I honestly feel a little bit at fault for Adam and Eat My Dust and all them getting tangled up, just because I forced it 3 wide and not even Eat My Dust stood right on my tail and went 3 wide then into the turn. So it'll be interesting to look back at. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but so I do feel partially at fault for that. But it doesn't surprise me that people get tangled up here with all the drafting going on.
I posed the same question to Notivin, so I'll say the same to you. How worried about how worried about the rain are you potentially coming in this final race of the season?
Well, looking at the weather tab, it looks like it's 0% all the way through. So I was honestly kind of hoping for a little bit of rain to make things a little more exciting. But I will say this track is actually pretty tough. There's a lot of parts of the track where there's just water everywhere because of the way it's sloped, especially like the second to last corner before you get onto the main stretch. And you can do nothing but hydroplane. And so trying to predict that is really tough. So I'm not opposed to a dry race.
All right, let's see how it goes. Good. Thanks for coming to chat to us. Good luck for the final race.
For sure. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Squilliam there chatting to us as the Drivers' Champion, of course, and one of the drivers for Backmarker Motorsports as well. Bob Wallace has also come to chat to us, Black Bob Wallace, so we'll come and have a chat with him as well. Why not? Welcome, Bob. Good to have you with us. And tell us a little bit about how you're feeling before this final race of the season.
I'm pretty excited. That was a fun race last time. Dirty air is terrible here, but still fun.
What is your sort of aim for this round generally? Have you got any points aims? Are you just taking this round as it comes on its own in isolation, or what is your thoughts going towards these 2 races?
Finish ahead of Urko. That is my only goal. It's always my goal. It will forever be my goal.
Okay, fair enough. And again, I posed the same question to the 2 previous, but Squilliam's just come in and told us there's almost no chance of rain in this race. Now, how you feel about the conditions? It's very foggy at the moment, and it looks like it could rain, but according to him, it's not going to. What are the conditions you'd be worried about?
We did a weather check. It looks like it's not going to rain, and I would like for it to stay that way. I'm not great in the wet.
You never know at Interlagos, I suppose. Any predictions of where you might finish?
Top 5 is what I'll go with, as long as I can stay out of trouble in turn 1.
Right, we'll look for a top 5. Good luck for the second race, Bob, and thanks for coming to chat to us.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Bob Wallace there, Black Bob Wallace, if you like, coming to chat to us in between the 2 races. It's quite nice to do in the warm-up session. Couple of minutes to go until the second race. Myself, Ian Leary, and James Parfitt with you for the final race of the J2iCS Sprint Series season. As I said, James, the championship picture hasn't really changed very much. The maximum points you can score as a team is 68 in one of these rounds, and so the sort of minimum that Backmarker Motorsports need to score in this one is 19 below that, which is 47. You can't actually score 47 with just well, you might be able to. It gets complicated, but effectively the top 4 thing still stands. If one of them finishes in the top 4, there's nothing that the others can do. So it's going to be very interesting to see. And also, they can't score lower than 60 points themselves, which means that neither of them can finish outside the top 6, which could get quite tricky as well. So they've certainly got the odds stacked against them, Night Racing, but they seem willing to give it a go.
Yeah, it's never over, is it? you know, we generally say it's never over till the fat lady sings, right? And that's not me being rude, it's just the saying. But at the end of the day, it's looking like they've got to climb Mount Everest to get there. And I think they're relying on a lot. Depending on what goes on, depending on how they do. Obviously, the free wides that we did see in the first race didn't work. So if free wide's up and again, and Prince Adam's in there or Squilliam's in there, then they might be in with a shot, I suppose. But at the moment, yes, looking like they might have to climb a mountain.
If there's big damage to both, then they do, Bozak and not even have a chance. But chances are, if there's a big crash involving two of their rivals, one of them are likely to get caught up in it as well, just because of the laws of averages and stuff like that. So I would presume it's going to be difficult, but you know, you never know until it's over. 40 minutes to come. Don't forget there is a pit stop as well, of course, between 10 and 30 minutes. Expect to see that between 10 and 30 minutes into the race, that is. Expect to see those pit stops really start to begin. Begin to begin, and then we'll be headed straight towards the end of the race, and indeed the end of the season as well. It's been a good end to the season. We've certainly enjoyed broadcasting it, and it's a great place to have our championship finale, as we said before. And it's good to have something riding on this last championship race as well, even if it is the team's championship and not the individuals. It's still fun to watch. Let's have a look at the starting grid ahead of the final race of the season, with DC and Omega on the front row this time. Jason Winucki and Dylan Meyer are going to be on row 2 ahead of Urko and Squilliam, who's starting from 6th place rather than the very back like he was last time. Black Bob Wallace, who was second in that opener, is going to be just ahead of Notovin, who he finished just behind in that first race. Sneeze Jr. and Gavin Ammerman missed out on the reverse grid. Of course, Ryan Schwab and Dutch were on 11th and 12th positions. And then further back, some big names back here. Imodust, Bozak and Prince Adam round out the grid. So the 15 drivers are ready to go. One last race in the J2iCS Sprint Series here from Interlagos. The last race of the season is into the Merc and underway here at Interlagos, a foggy Interlagos, as they make their way down towards turn number 1 for the very first time. DC gets off to a good start and leads in towards turn number 1. For those midfielders, it's going to be about getting through the opening 3 corners successfully, and they haven't, I'm afraid. Off the road already. Sneezy Jr. drops to the very back of the field. Bozak gains 3 places as a result of some of the carnage just up ahead of him. We've got neither of his rivals. Squilliam is up to 5th place already. Prince Adam down to 14th as things stand, as they go 3 wide in towards turn number 4 for the very first time. Very wide indeed, just up ahead of them there from Winucki, it looked like. Jason Winucki. They make their way through largely clean, though. On this opening lap, it's been a good start for most of the drivers.
Yeah, I think Sneezy Jr. has been, unfortunately, at his moment. Dutch has also been off the side of the circuit. It's very hard to come off away from the cars because we can't actually get to see them within the murk and doom and gloom here at Interlagos. So we'll try and keep as close as we can, but it's very hard on that one. Bozak is gained position. He's up 3. Prince Adam is up 1, but he's literally up from 14th into 15th. Gavin Averman is being chased down by Eat My Dust at the moment. DC's trying to scamper away. Omega's at a moment in Juncow. He's on the side of the road. And now Notovin and Squilliam. Well, this could be fun.
Yeah, they look like they're going to race each other right to the very end, which would be good to watch. As long as Squilliam finishes in the top 4 here, then his team will be team's champions. So they have got one hand on that trophy as things stand as they go down towards turn number 1. The 2 title rivals going to battle again. Oh, off in the background goes Dylan Meyer. I'd be surprised if you could see him, but he's got very deep on the brakes, I'm afraid. There he goes through the grass, back onto the circuit, sort of. He drops well down the field as now Squilliam goes defensive. TC will be allowed to get away as a result of all of this, as Notovin goes to the outside. He's going to have to brake late and go a long way around here, down at turn number 4, but Squilliam will get caught up on the curb. Notovin should get the good run on the exit here of turn 5 especially. Can he stay alongside for Ferradura? Oh, not quite. Jason Winucki closes in just behind them, and they will continue their battle for second place. Maybe they'll start to work together at some point to try and catch DC. Maybe make this a battle for the win instead.
Oh, Squilliam's gone in deep. He's going to come in deep. Notovin's going to have the chance to cut him back. Is he going to be able to go underneath him? That's going to be the question. He's not. He's going to try. I would have gone the other way. He left the door open for you there. That's put Notovin all out of short sorts for the run down through Mugello. coming down into Junkao. This has got to be Notavin's moment. He's got to challenge Squilliam, going up through Junkao and up through Sabido and into turn 1. There's not a shadow of a doubt. He's got to give him grief. Otherwise, as he said, Squilliam will just run away with it.
Was wide as well from Squilliam. It can't have been the best exit because he did get into the AstroTurf in the grass on the outside through the final corner, but he is quick in a straight line. Notamin quick as well with the help of the slipstream. You can see as he gets alongside, it's getting a little bit more tricky. Oh, they can make contact. Very slight contact made, but potentially big consequences. Squilliam does dive down the inside and make his way through. Goodness me, it's foggy, isn't it? Squilliam does go off slightly. This should be a good run for Notvin, but again, his straight line speed's not brilliant. He pulls to the outside very early, and if he makes it a drag race, it's a race he's bound to lose. He's going to squeeze Squilliam a little bit to the left-hand side, and he's going to have to go round for the cutback this time. Last time he went round the outside, or tried to. This time he goes for the cutback, and both have similarly no effects.
Yeah, he's got to try and get up the inside of Faradora if he can. He's just not being able to do that at the moment for Notvin. Squilliam's covering him off. The thing for Notvin is he knows as well, he cannot let him get away. He's got to keep at him. He's got to keep going. He's got to bully him. He's got to hassle him. Take him deep. Put him in there, put your nose in, give him something to think about. Otherwise, it's good night. And he's got to pressurize for him. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Stay with him through Magello. Stay with him through Junkao. Even if you let it run a little bit wide through Junkao, you can use the curb on the exit and keep up that pace. There you go. Now you've got to go. He cannot let him not have a challenge going into the first corner.
This battling is helping others stay in touch. Jason Minucci, Urko and Impetus are all here as Notvin goes to the outside again. Last time this happened, of course, they made contact just as they crossed the start finish line. Notvin again crowd Squilliam, but look at his straight line speed there. On the left-hand side, Backmarker Motorsports have got a little bit more straight line speed. It looks like that certainly than Notvin does as he goes for the exit again here. But when you haven't got the straight line speed, I don't really see the point in trying to run for an exit here. Out onto the the back straight they go, the second straight, the Retro Poster. This is towards the Interlagos turn number 4. Again, it's a squeeze. Again, it's round the outside for Notvin. This time he breaks later. This time he's braver. And this time he has the place. That's exactly what later braking gets you. And a bit more bravery on the outside gets you as well. He's on the inside for Ferradura. This time he'll have the place. Notvin finally is up to second place, but I'm not sure it'll last very long.
He had to. It didn't matter. Now what he wants to do as well is try and get Jason Winiak in there and eat my dust all at the same time, and they can put pressure on Squilliam at the same time. It's not hard here at Interlagos to slow people down. You've got slow corners like going into SA, Pinarino through Bico. You can slow them down, but what he's got to do now, he's got to come out of Junkao. He's got to go up through Sabido, take the left-hand side of the circuit. It's like anything, shortest route. And then what he's got to go is he goes past that pit lane exit entrance. He's got to hug that white wall like his favourite grandma. He's just got to keep it pinned against the wall. Make Squilliam go around the outside and make him work for it as well. Because at the moment, for him, if Squilliam manages to get a run, you didn't. Oh, yeah.
Side by side. Impetus, by the way, is going so quickly. He's down. Oh, through he goes. Into 4th place, past Jason Minucci and past Urko as well, who's now going to be giving it a hard time to Jason Minucci. I think Prince Adam's off the road, meanwhile, dropping down the period, I'm afraid to say, but it won't cost him any points because he's already outside the top 10. By the way, anyone outside the top 10 scores 20 points, and that will be that. So you don't gain or lose any in those bottom 5 positions. As things stand, the point situation, the gap will be down to 13. However, it's not in favour of night racing at the moment. They still need things to go their way. It's side by side again here as Notavin's now gone for a spin. It looks like and he has. There goes the main protagonist here for this team, and he's got damage as well. It's down on the rear right corner. It looks like an unforced error, this. On the way down towards turn 8. Notvin a bit of a tighter line from Ferradura. He's got up over the curb and then he's tried to correct it. He spun straight into the wall. And with that, Night Racing's Championship Challenge goes up in smoke.
Yeah, he's got off again after. He must have just jumped back to the pit lane and it's picked up. But what's worse is Bozak's just got off the side of the circuit. I think that was coming out of up through Junkao and then just run a little bit wide. But all of that work, all of that bravery, that effort that Notvin has just put in, it's just gone poof. like Harry Potter up a chimney. It's all gone. Such a shame.
Yeah, and at the moment, Markham Motorsports will be regaining 8 of those points that they lost in that opening race, so their margin would actually be bigger than it was at the start of the day if things stay as they are, and it's looking very, very good for them indeed now. Urko down the inside here of Jason Winooki, who's trying to go around the outside here and is successfully doing so as well here for the moment. Anyway, he's on the inside at Eradura, and well, it's Urko's time to go around the outside, it seems. He'll slide his way through, and he will not be successful, I'm afraid. Winooki holds on to 4th position for the moment. Blackburn Wallace closes in, and Bozak will close in as well on some positions he very desperately needs.
Yeah, he definitely does, but he's just not being able to get close enough. Winooki and Urko now. Winooki runs a little bit wide for Mugello to go down into Junkao. This is Urko's moment with Bob in the background. This could be a free wide moment here, because I can tell you what, Bob is going to get a hand.
Oh dear!
No!
Oh, Winooki's off, and Urko straight into him. Oh dear!
Whoa.
And Bozak tries to avoid them. Oh dear! Urko's had a very odd crash there as he gets tipped up onto 2 wheels. They'll both finally re-emerge, but surely they'll have damage.
Well, you would have thought so. If they haven't, they've got away with a flat-out miracle, to be blatantly honest. But oh, Bob was so close. Watch Bozak. Oh,
wow!
And then he goes up. Look at
both.
That's
weird.
It's very, very bizarre, that second one. But there wasn't any specific reason either. I think it's just he ran wide. He got on the curb. He got on the grass. Kept the power in, and then up he goes. And that's kind of, well, that wasn't it really. And Urko's, well, just did that.
It's all a bit weird, that. I don't know what was going on there. Urko and Winooki in the pit lane then. Looks like they're re-emerging, though, pretty quickly. As I mentioned earlier on, Notovin and Bozak both need to be in the top 6 if things are to change here in the Teams Championship, so I think we can pretty much put that one to bed as things stand, and instead focus on enjoying the race, which is, it looks like it's going to be a good one. Still half an hour to go of this season. DC's just been caught by Squillian. Blackburn Wallace and Bozak are still fighting after avoiding that bizarre crash between Winooki and Urko, who are still fighting as well, along with this fight for 7th place between Dutch and Dylan Meyer for 7th. So there's still plenty to watch with just under half an hour to go.
Yeah, Meyer in the Papaya McLaren scheme, really, isn't it, that he's got on that car at the moment. And he's just got to go here. You've got a run and a half there. You should be able to... Oh, why are you so wide out? I don't quite understand. Tuck him right behind him, that's it. And then he's going to... If Dutch has got any mind to defend this, he should be literally against the wall. He's got a car's gap there, Dylan Meyer, and he can make that move if he wants to. Just didn't quite be brave enough to go round and try and go up the inside. But DC has got Squilliam alongside. Yeah, and I don't think DC's quite got the pace unless he's going to flick Squilliam up in the air, which he's not. And Squilliam's going to go through on the exit of Interlagos and run up into the Ferradura.
Doesn't even bother to defend from him, and well, he's coming back at him. Makes you wonder why he didn't defend into turn 4 in the first place, really. But anyway, gets back again into Ferradura. Oh, that was quite close. Squilliam down the inside tentatively, this time round the outside of turn 9. He'll have the inside at Pico de Pato if he stays there, and he will do. That was where the pass was made, round the outside at 9. Really gave him the position there. TC will get a good run down here, but there's not really anywhere to go with it through turn 11. Into Junchao, he could have a go down here, but that's going to be quite tricky as well. So he'll tuck in and try and come back at him, but it's going to be difficult to stay with Squilliam now.
Yeah, he got a slow exit. I think the person who was hoping to benefit out of this would have been Ema Dust on that one. Ryan Schwab's been off the side of the track. Now DC's got a moment. He's going to close in 3 attempts. It's going to come down quite quick now. He should be well in that pass range going down into turn 1. The question is, does he? No. And again, he's doing what Notovin needed to do as well, go through it. But coming up here is Dylan Meyer and Dutch. Meyer's, you've got the inside there, sir. He's literally giving it to you on a plate. And he didn't go. Where Gavin Haverman, is he going to be able to go and defend for Prince Saddam? Wow. He did, but he did take his nose off in the process.
Very close that was to potential disaster. It was okay in the end. I believe, by the way, I know we spent some time on board with Dylan Meyer earlier on as he was trying to catch and pass, well, he's already caught, but trying to pass Dutch for 6th place. I think he's saving fuel sat behind him. I think I heard him lifting off last time we were on board with Meyer there, as Zerko and Winucki have come into pit lane, repaired their cars, and just reignited their battle here, which is kind of bizarre, but entertaining to see. It's this time over 13th place.
Yeah, they were side by side going up down the start-finish straight. And then it's kind of settled down. Looks like okay, might have got a better run through turn 1, and that gap was, you know, very, very close. And that is poor old Jamaica, who is having a evening to forget by his standards, I would have thought, as that's coming into Interlagos. That back end's coming around. You're gone in too fast, sir. There we go. On that one, it's almost like we can predict sometimes what's going to happen, isn't it?
Too much racing, that's why. Out onto the start
really
finish line for Dutch, and yeah, it's very tricky, isn't it, in these foggy conditions to find the camera angles that we can actually see them in. Meyer's getting exceptionally close, but again, I think he's saving fuel here. So Ammerman and Prince Adam will both, I would imagine, be able to catch up here, and already Ammerman is within a second, and that could add a different dynamic into this battle, because it's all well and good Meyer sat there, but probably isn't best pleased about it, although he can't do a lot about it. Gavin Ammerman, though, might be able to do something a little bit, though, about it. He might be able to put a bit of pressure on Meyer and maybe make this battle a little bit more interesting. Maybe try and go past them both, Jim Ast, into 6th place.
I don't understand what Meyer's doing. Yeah, but I don't get why. And I'm trying to pick the words here, but I'm trying to do it in a nice way. I don't think he's got the pace to match the people above him. I think Bob Wallace and Bozak, Imadus, DCS Graham are all quicker than Dylan. And he's had plenty of opportunities to go past Dutch, but I don't get why he's not taking them. I'm a little bit confused. I thought he might have been... Yeah, I don't get what he's trying to achieve. I think that's my point. Normally, with this scenario, you would just go, run it out, and have done with it. And I don't get quite what Dylan's trying to achieve out of this at this moment in time.
Do
you get what I mean?
I don't know, Rick. Oh, a little bit, but I still think it's relevant for those. I don't think it's particularly relevant for the people ahead. I think it's the people around he's trying to beat right now that he could do by saving a little bit of fuel here. You know, we're still potentially a long way away.
I'll do a deal then, mate. If Dylan Meyer finishes ahead of Dutch by coming after the few with pit stops, I'll donate $20 to Dylan's charity. I can't see this working out. I'm a bit confused.
It'd be quite difficult for us to prove that it's down to his fuel saving, but or indeed if he's fuel saving right now at all.
He's had loads of opportunity. He hasn't made the move, and I think all he's done is brought Gavin Hamerman into the mix here, when really he should have probably bolted away from Dutch by now.
I don't know. It's difficult to tell what the plan is here for these two. Difficult to know where the rest of this race is going to go. Really, there's still a long time for making pit stops here. Tyre change not anticipated either way. The fuel limit set in these cars at 55%, but now we see our first scheduled pit stop of the day. It's for Imadust, who is in third at the moment. Now, does Meyer respond to this by coming in early? Does Dutch come in early? It's impossible to tell because they always drive through the pit lane entrance anyway. Gavin Ammerman now comes through onto the outside line. Meyer lets him have it, and Ammerman switches to the other side. He wants to get through on both of these very quickly indeed, and he's not quite going to be able to here in one go quite. But he got pretty close. It was a pretty spectacular attempt, and now he's going to have a run on the way towards turn 4 as well. Imadust is going to be coming up pit lane right next to them as well here from the pit lane. That wasn't a very good call for him, I don't think, to come into pit lane just then. But anyway, Ammerman comes through, and he gets into 5th place with ease, relatively.
Yeah, and yeah, great drive from Ammerman, but Oh,
goodness me.
That
was close.
The delay from Dylan Meyer's not really achieving anything, apart from bringing now Prince Adam to climb all over him.
Yeah, he's let Imadust through because he's already made his stop, and that's probably the sensible thing to do. There's the look from the front of Ammerman's car. said he executed it well in the a moment ago, but he did go a bit wide in towards turn 4 and let Dutch back through again. But here he goes at the final corner. Oh, it's brakes quite early. Dutch to go wide here and get a bad exit, and through will go both on both of them. Will go Eatmadust here. It's almost as if he's not there. Oh goodness, free wide through the middle. Ammerman will go through. Dutch goes very wide here, and he'll come straight back again here. Well, Ammerman, it's Eatmadust maybe. Will someone come in to try and avoid? No. Here comes Dylan Meyer. Doesn't know where to go. He very nearly crashes straight into Dutch there on the straight. Here comes Ammerman, sort of trapped behind Eatmadust, who was defended well there. Oh, Meyer breaks late. Can he stay through? He does. Gets up to 6th place.
Oh,
and Dutch gets back through on Ammerman as well. It allows Prince Adam maybe to come up on him. He's in the slipstream here on the way down towards turn 4, and that could allow him a position as well, although he's the one who's waiting behind now. So finally it all changes on the way down the straight there. At times they look like they might have even gone 4 wide, but they refrained from that just, and in the end Eatmadust comes out on top as expected.
Yeah, we had 2 banks of 2 and a one at the back there. We almost had our own little pyramid triangle. Ryan Schwab is joined into the back of this, but now I'm even more confused because he then went and made the overtake. So I don't know. I think he could have done that about 5-6 laps ago, to be honest with you. But anyway, listen, moving on. Ryan Schwab's caught onto the back of Prince Adam. Adam's caught onto the back of Amerman. Amerman's got the pace to catch up to Dutch and Dylan. And I think Eatmadust is now in a position where he's got into the pits. He's looking for the overcut to see if he can get this done here and be able to jump Bob and Bozak.
Let's say I think it's pretty ill-advised for him just to put himself right in that battle, but there you go. He might be able to make it work with just over half this race remaining. This is the line at the end of lap 13 there. Should have 26 in this race, unless or maybe 27, somewhere around there. These final 40 minutes of the season. Prince Adam, I would have expected to make some quicker progress through this group actually, but he's still in 9th place only. That's all they really need, though, for the championship, of course, as he makes his way down towards turn 4 right now. Ammerman defends sort of, but didn't really need to, and Prince Adam goes wide anyway.
Yeah, very short and sweet there. The problem with that is you get an off track, and at certain points you do get a slowdown. So I don't know if it's obviously going to trigger both of them or one of them, to be blatantly honest. It's a little bit inconsistent going through Interlagos, whether or not you're going to come out the other side, to be honest. But Ammerman now is chased back up to the back of DC. DC has lost 2 seconds to Dylan, who's caught up to Eatmadust, which is a little bit weird considering Eatmadust has been quick all night, as Dylan now showing the pace to catch up to him.
Oh yeah, weird, but they're all that. Sorry, go on.
It's weird considering how long he stayed behind Dutch, I think, would be my only problem. But Prince Adam is having a right now a nice little ding dong with Ammerman back here. With Dutch just about to get swamped, I think, if he's not careful.
He's okay for straight line speed, and they all stay in the same positions they were in on the way down towards turn 1. Very close. Ammerman, he'll go wide there.
He's got to get that right.
Bobbles over the curb, although Prince Adam went quite wide as well, so might not have the best exit. And there'll be slipstream, of course, helping Ammerman, which should make it more difficult for Prince Adam, although it might not make it too difficult. Down the inside for turn number 4, as we've crossed over halfway in this race now, and he is up halfway through the field pretty much. That's 8th place now for Prince Adam, and now he'll set his sights further forward again towards Dutch, but that was not one of his better runs onto the turn 4 straight, onto the retroposter, but actually one of the easier passes.
Yeah, I think that being in the draft kind of helped him out at the end after that one. It kind of pulled him a little bit more forward. It'll be the same for Ammerman. If Ammerman can stay coming out of at the top turn 10 out of Bico, down through Mugello and into Juncal, he'll have a great run. But at the moment, Prince Adam should get the run out of this, going over Dutch, coming up from Juncal as Squilliam sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:26.831. Now, if you keep an eye on what Adam's going to be able to do here, he should be able to rocket past Dutch as if he's just stood still. The draft is going to pull him in, Dutch didn't cover any part of the racetrack. He didn't really defend, and I think you're going to see Prince Adam move up here unless Dutch is going to be big and brave and send it around the outside, or dive him on the inside going into one, which looks like... No.
Nope. He probably decides for the better option there, which is to just let him go at this point. I think that would be beneficial for both of them. They're on different pacing strategies for now. So he'll look over his shoulder again at Amron, I would expect here, Dutch in the next few moments, and defend this 8th position. It does look like Meyer's going to get away by some distance now. Dylan Meyer, who's not keeping up exactly with Immodust, because very few are, but he is pretty comfortably in 6th position for the moment. So 8th place will be the primary battle for the next few moments. Urko and Jason Winucki are still close together though for 12th position, so there's a couple of battles that are going on around the circuit at the moment.
Yeah, but it's mainly this middle three, isn't it? Adam, Dutch and Averman. I think it's where the action's going to be going in for the next couple of laps here. We're 23 minutes in. Eatma does set in 23, and I was going to talk about pit stops, and then DC dives in. Eatma Dust is going to go past DC, I think, on this one. So is Black Bob Wallace, I believe. So we'll keep an eye and see. Yeah, Bob's already gone through. Eatma Dust is... Oh, so DC's right at the... No, he is going to get overtaken here. I don't think he's going to get out of the pit lane quick enough. So, unfortunately for DC, he's going to lose that place to Eatma Dust. How close is he going to be to Dylan Meyer? He should stay in front of Dylan. Yeah, but the problem is Dylan's got a pit as well. So...
Oh, yeah, of course. But I'm just thinking about the track position. If he comes out right behind him, then it's a lap of him going slower than he otherwise might. Or maybe not, to be honest. Maybe they'll be quite similar, but... it's not a great sign when you come out the pit lane and end up directly behind someone. It doesn't allow you to get into the next part of the race at all, really, because you've got to immediately think about overtaking someone rather than thinking about what you're doing, which is supposed to be going quickly, and that's what DC needs to do. So he's going to be quick enough, though, to catch Eatma to be impressive if he does.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have loved to have seen Eatma Dust at the front. I think that would have been the thing for me. He's got pace tonight. It seems like Interlagos really does suit him, but he just didn't quite get there. I was trying to see what the weather was doing. At one point I thought it was raining on my screen, but then, unless I was just imagining it, that's why I've jumped on board on the cockpit here, just to see if it was. And it's not.
The windscreen wipers.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be it. On an open cockpit.
Oh. Yeah, maybe the IndyCars have them these days. They have the aero screen, don't they? Do they have windscreen wipers?
I don't think they have windscreen. They can't put windscreen wipers on them. That's just ridiculous.
I was driving in the rain earlier. Mine broke.
What, your window wipers? What was your hand
really wipe the water away anymore.
Yeah, did you have your hand out the window, moving them backwards and forwards?
Excuse my arm, yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway, we've got off track. We've got off topic again. Meanwhile, it's Prince Adam at the front of this next group. We've Dutch and Ammerman battling for 6th position at the moment. Prince Adam going a little bit wide, but we'll get away with that, as you often do actually in Tours Turf. This is a battle I've been enjoying so far in the first 25 minutes. I haven't seen a lot of it in the last 10 or so, but Winucki and Urko were having a good fight before they awkwardly fell over each other. It's kind of like two people trying to let the other go through the door first, and you end up both going and then just colliding with one another in the doorway. That's exactly what they seem to do in the final corner, and here they go again into turn 4 this time. Urko down the inside, and that was a bit more civil than the last one.
Yeah, it was. Winucki seemed to get a very slow run out there and did not have a good time. However, Dutch is not having a good time. Gavin Averman, don't do it, mate. Don't do it up through Shingar. Now you've got the run all the way up through Sabido. You've got the run up through Aqua Picandes as well. I'll explain that one very, very shortly and see if anybody knows the reason why. But here we go. Averman is going to go through. Dutch looks like he's heading into the pit lane. Mind you, that's a very slow entrance for Dutch. He could go a lot quicker going up to the pit lane exit there, entrance. He looked very slow.
Don't know, to be honest. We haven't watched anyone come in pit lane yet, so I haven't really got a good reference point. But there we go. This is the only battle remaining on the circuit. Then you might as well tell the story about this corner name that.
Right, turn 15. Did you know it's actually called Arquibancadas?
Well, not. I don't off the top of my head, but I've got the track map in front of me, so yes.
All right, okay. And obviously it translates to... What does it translate to, Mr. O'Leary?
My Portuguese is nil.
Okay.
I don't know any.
It translates to the bleachers. Now, the problem is when you look on a track map, modern day track map of Interlagos, you'll find Arquibancadas is not on there at all. It's just labelled as turn 15. But on some, there are certain track maps that you find of Interlagos where Arquibancadas is on there, translates to the bleachers, which makes technically that run out of Juncal going up through Sabido, where we are now. Arquibancadas is there just at the beginning of the pit entry, just there, and that is the bleachers on the right hand side. So there we go. 3 corners actually running up from Juncal, 13, 14 and 15.
What does that mean?
Arquibancadas?
Yeah.
It just means the bleachers.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
The bleachers it's normally the high seats in baseball. Do you not watch other sports? It means the upper seats. The reason why Arquibancadas and the upper seats is because effectively you are on the top of the racetrack, because you can see over the whole of the circuit from the top part of where they are. So yeah, if you have a look going up now, I'll try and go up on there. If you look just at the beginning of the pit lane, there's some start becoming some seating there all the way through on the right hand side. And just here is Arquibancadas, and you can see quite a lot of the racetrack.
And it all falls into place.
It does.
Oh, goodness. That was close. Graham coming into pit lane.
He did make it, though,
yeah,
so that's fine.
Very topical baseball reference. I've been watching recently.
Have you?
I don't really know what's happening.
What do you mean you don't know what's happening? It's easy. You hit a ball, you run around the base.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but you know, in terms of the deeper, understanding of the game, I don't really have that.
There isn't a deeper meaning than that, mate. There isn't a deeper meaning than that. It's whoever gets the most people around the bases wins the match.
Well, that's true. Ewan Dust is going to be able to get through into second place here, and that's looks like a just reward for him on the day's work.
Early pit stop.
Stay there as well.
Yeah, early pit stop for Ewan Dust.
Yep, he made it 9 laps to go now, would you believe it? So he will make it to the end, but he as you say, made an earlier and longer stop, by the way, by 4/10 of a second ahead of Bozak, but they've both made real strides in this race. Bozak doing exactly what he needed to by finishing on the podium. It's just a shame that for this team, anyway, that Notovin's not there anymore. Because that would have been really useful for the team's championship, of course, and they'd have had a shot if they were both up there, of course, with Grillian winning, it makes it impossible. But if they were both up in the podium places, they would have recognised that they've done their job at least.
Yeah, the problem is it didn't work out. You as much as we'd love to predict the future for Notovin, it just did not go. He had that awkward spin coming up through the Ferradura, didn't he, into Laranjara, where he just kind of hit that horrible AstroTurf on the outside, and unfortunately it just gripped up and spun the car on him. So yeah, right, Dylan Meyer, here we go in the pit lane for Dylan. So there he is currently at the moment. Dutch has made his pit stop, so Dutch at the moment is on his way up through Sabido. If everything that Dylan's done, he should come out in front of Dutch.
Oh, yeah. He's already out the pit lane, already making his way out, so it'll be a long way ahead. Who's really made difference in terms of pit lane time here? I mean, Prince Adam had a maybe second or two longer stop than some of the others, but he's still just behind. He's maybe just further behind Meyer, I suppose, than normal, and a bit closer to him than he otherwise would have been. Dutch is a long way behind anybody at the moment. He's lost quite a few positions in this pit stop phase, so his pit stop wasn't particularly slow. He's just lost some time. Jason Winucki's had a bit of a longer stop, but that's of course when he was pitting with Urco earlier on. They may well still have to stop again, actually, considering it was only 6 laps into the race. I reckon they will have to stop again, actually, unless they're going to just about squeak home in the end. They might just squeak home, but it's going to be quite close for those two, and they look like they're both finished outside of the top 10. So with that, the final pit stops of the season are complete, and the final battles will be rearing their heads now. It looks like 7th and 9th will be the closest ones for the remainder of this.
Prince Adam, Gavin Amerman, they've been together for a little bit of a while, and Dutch and Ryan Schwab here are still battling it out. Could mention Squilliam up front, I suppose, in his hindsight. He's done rather well, hasn't he? He's opened it up and he's pulled away and well, started lapping the field. He's lapped Yamega. What this man doesn't want to do is get lapped by this man, because, well, that's just a little bit awkward. So for Squilliam, it's like Max lapping Hamilton, or vice versa. You know, it may look good, but it just doesn't taste. Yeah, it did, unfortunately. It may look good, it just doesn't quite taste right. You know what I mean? So, you know, let's see. Let's hope that doesn't happen for Notvin. He was driving so well right up until the point of where he caught that awkward AstroTurf on the outside.
Yeah, just the entry for Ferradura got all wrong, and then he was in the AstroTurf. Then he was
it's just
sliding into the wall, I'm afraid, which has put an end to the Night Racing's team challenge, I'm afraid. It's probably going to mean they lose points on the day as well, even despite gaining some of those in the first race. Looks like they're going to be losing them overall, so looks like it's going to be Backmarker Motorsports to take the team's title in about 6 minutes' time, but let's wait and see on that. Prince Adam has got to bring it home yet for the team as he makes his way round this final corner. Now Dylan Myers off the road, just up in front of them here. And there he re-emerges. Will they both overtake him? It looks like they will do. He hasn't got any damage here, Dylan Meyer, but maybe we'll just get up to speed in time. Alman could have 2 places in one hit as he goes down the straight. This is what happened to Meyer. Too narrow on the entry, and a bit of just a rejoin there, but he'll have a slower onto the straight. There they are in the background. Alman goes on the outside line. Is he braking late enough here? Yes. And he will be up to 7th place, but they haven't quite caught Dylan Meyer.
Well, they're about as close as you possibly want them to be. It's about 1.1. For Meyer's sake, he doesn't want them any closer. Let's put it that way, but unfortunately it looks like they may get a little bit closer. Bozak and Eat My Dust are slowly closing up as well. A couple of battles coming towards their closure, towards the end of the race. Bozak, Eat My Dust is being one of them. Prince Adam, Amerman, if these guys really want to move forward, they've got to stop fighting and go after Meyer up front. So, yeah, we'll see what happens on that one.
Certainly will. As Amber goes wide there into turn 8. As Adam closes in. So the Meyer just blinks in and out for a second. He's back again now in 6th place. Just up the road, DC getting off the road for a brief moment, but he's back in now and looks like he'll be comfortably inside the top 5 by the end of this race. Just less than 5 minutes to go. Squilliam a long way past the pit lane now, and he's got the best lap as well, so that's another point to add to his ever-growing tally now in the championship. See, they all make their way down to the first corner now. Looks like this battle will indeed stay the same, and they may well have another 4 or so laps to go here, so plenty of time for this battle to be resolved, but I think Prince Adam and Amma are going to start battling first, and that will just allow Meyer to hold on to 6th place, and here we go.
Yeah, Dutch and Ryan Schwab are side by side as well. Schwab's just about to get past Dutch on that one. Ammerman and Adam coming in to the Interlagos. Ammerman, is he going to hold the inside? He is. Adam runs a little bit wide on the way out now, up the run into Ferradura. Adam is on the left in the pink and white. Ammerman in the purple and white. Round the Ferradura we go, into Laranahara, coming into SA. Oh, he nearly did a Notvin, did Amerman.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about when he went wide there. Very nearly did exactly the same thing, but he saved it. And he just about hangs on to 8th place. Doesn't gain 7th though. Prince Adam holds on to that just for the moment. So a couple of battles here late on. As Squilliam goes over the line, should be 3 laps to go here. Plenty of time left here for Amman to go down the inside, but no. Would even be one of those runs to the line, but no, that's wide
he's got it
from
wrong.
Amman.
Yep,
he has got it wrong, and now he's going to have to spend almost the rest of the race catching back up again for that final lap, maybe.
Yeah, and this might be a different situation. Dutch, he was within. What happened there, Dutch? He was within half a second at one point, going through Mijello and down into Shunkao, and then unfortunately it looks like Schwab's just kind of run away with it here. So there we go. Bozak and Imada still within that second of each other, so this could be quite interesting.
I think Bozak is being kept at arm's length by it, just to be honest, in these final minutes. They are both catching Squilliam, incidentally, just ever so gently. The gap was over 8 seconds at its height, and now it's going down below that, but it's nothing really to worry about. The champion in waiting, the driver's champion, looks like he's about to lead his team to a title as well. But his gap is coming down at the very front of this race as Notvin comes into pit lane. In the meantime, it is going to be a lap down finish, I'm afraid, for Notvin. He is going to finish 14th at least, but it's going to be a lap down on the leader by the looks of things. As Squilliam crosses the line, 2 laps to go.
Yeah, this one and one more here for Squilliam. Ammerman's got he's got this one and one more to go to be able to get this job done for, actually no, he's got still 2 and this one and 2 more technically, because obviously the way it works out there as well. I'm trying to do maths at gone 4 o'clock in the morning, not the greatest idea, but Ammerman's going to try. That run that he got wrong has kind of jeopardised him a little bit. He just doesn't seem to now have the pace to catch back up. It's almost like the draft that was oh no, it's not.
Oh, there it is. And Bozak needs to get back on the road pretty quickly here, because Blackbird Wallace is just coming down the straight in towards turn 4 as well. He'll get out in time, but Bozak confirms that it will be 3rd and not 2nd in this final race with a spin. He showed that he was trying there, but trying a little bit too hard, and in the end confirms 3rd place, not 2nd.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Bozak, you can guarantee that's the curb on the outside of the Cedar de Lago that's just caused that problem. And it's going to be one of them ones that he's probably done the same thing for the last 20 laps. Oh no, his back end's already loose on the way in.
Just trying to go quicker and quicker and quicker, and eventually the back end's not going to have it anymore. So, well, anyway, with the positions and points he's gaining on Ammerman, he might overtake him in the championship, but it could be quite tricky. I think Gavin Ammerman's still going to be 5th place by the end of the season. Bozak will certainly hang on from Prince Adam, who is down in 7th place at the moment, whether this goes his way or not, this battle. So Bozak will at least hang on to 6th place in the Drivers' Championship. As time elapses on the season, 40 minutes gone here at Interlagos. We've got just one more to go, and Squilliam makes his way down towards turn 4 on a victory lap for him and his team.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on where he is on the racetrack. You're on a straight, don't do that. But
it's not that straight.
They did!
Oh, goodness me! Oh, Prince Adam's up into the catch fence, and Ammerman's out as well. The last lap of the season is not a fond one, I'm afraid, for those two. Ammerman can't get himself out the wall, he's out the race, and Prince Adam's going to limp home to a finish here.
What? Oh,
that's
Ammerman
a difficult
just
one to call. So it's not a straight, so it's difficult to say who's going into who there, but that's quite an end to a season. Prince Adam will limp home, as I say, but it's all in hand. Not least because Squilliam is on his way to take his victory. Another victory. 12 wins, which is an average more than 1 per evening over the course of the Sprint Series Championship. He's been dominant, and it's our driver's champion, Squilliam, to take the final round, leading his team, Backmarker Motorsports, to a team's championship as well. Race 2 at Interlagos goes to Squilliam by over 7 seconds in the end to Itmidust, who has a good evening, ahead of Bozak, who does his part in night racing's charge for the championship here on the very final race. He finishes in 3rd position in the end. Further back, Prince Adam is not quite going to get to celebrate this team's championship in the same way. He really is limping on this last lap.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if he gets home, to be honest.
Oh goodness, he is limping. I didn't realise he was quite missing so much of his car.
The wheels underneath, look, it's more of a hovercraft.
More of a tricycle.
Yeah, but the problem is he could, if Wonicky hurries up here, he's going to get him anyway.
Yeah, I think he is. It's going to be quite exciting towards the end for 11th place. one of the stranger battles to line you've ever seen, but he might have this. It's a couple of left-handers coming up, which I don't think is going to help him because he's not got a front right tyre. Oh dear, look at this. This is quite comical, actually. Oh no, Prince Adam's off the road.
The wheel's out.
Oh, Winnicky nearly followed him. Dear me. Anyway, that'll be 12th place. He's now the last driver on the
wheel's
lead lap.
back in
What a
again.
sight that is.
Yeah, very, very bizarre, isn't it? And I think there's only one way to look at this.
Oh, here we go. He goes right up in the air, doesn't he?
Look. Oh, man.
Big crash. And it's another one of those moments you're very glad this is sim racing, because that car very nearly vaulted over the catch fence into the crowd. So that could have been really nasty.
That would have been just game over, but I'm just going to... I just want to... Can I pick it up? No, it's a shame.
Hammerman does turn right there, doesn't he? I'm not going crazy. I think he does turn a little bit to the right when he should be going left. And if I were to put that on anyone, just looking at this one, look, this little bit of right here.
Why?
Very slight.
Yeah, but I don't get why that would even be a thing on a left-hander. No.
He might find himself in a bit of trouble for that, but we'll see.
Yeah, because that would have...
Might have to go down as his fault, that one.
Because that would have put him right into the... Yeah, because there's the turn. And then Hammerman obviously, well, we know, does that.
It's even worse from that angle somehow. Anyway, let's move on.
I could just look at that all day, to be honest, because that was such a spectacular crash.
I think Prince Adam's doing some improvised donuts, and he's not doing too badly. Fair play to him. Let's have a look at the results for the final time this season. It's Skrillium who takes the win, this time by 7 seconds. Ahead of it, Justin Bozak, who are on the podium. Blackburn Wallace and Dylan Meyer round out the top 5, with Ryan Schwab in 6th place. Dutch 7th, ahead of DC and Urko, the farm drivers within a minute. Sneezy Jr., Jason Winooki and Prince Adam with the farm drivers within on the same lap. Nottingham, Amman and Yomega finish 1 lap down. Let's chat to the podium drivers after that one, starting with Skrillium, of course, the race winner. Congratulations on your 12th victory in this season. First of all, how would you assess that race and the way you got through the field? Are you pleased with the overall performance?
Yeah, definitely. It was a really good race, I think. Tried to battle with Nottingham at the beginning there, and we weren't really catching DC, and so I just... should have told him over the comms. It's like, we just need to work together because I just wanted to win. So I started just sticking behind him so he could catch back up, and then unfortunately I had that spin. But so after that, I was just kind of on my own until I caught DC and drafted by him, and he kind of stuck with me for a little bit. But overall, yeah, I mean, pretty happy with that. So
looking back now, because this is the end of the season, of course, how would you assess it as a whole as the drivers' champion and part of the winning team as well? You must look back and think it's a job well done.
Yeah, I'm definitely. There are some races in there that are some bad hiccups, like his older. But overall, I'm pretty happy, and this is my first championship in any league, so that's pretty cool. And proud of Adam as well. This is our 2nd team championship, so I'm very stoked and super pumped for the next one.
Absolutely, we look forward to seeing you there. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
As always, shout out to Adam, great teammate. He is awesome to race with, and then also all the fans that are hopefully watching over in another Discord server with all my local friends. But they love to watch and cheer me on and stuff like that. I'm sure they're watching, and I appreciate all their support. So.
All right, congratulations on the Race 2 win tonight and the championships, of course. And thanks very much for coming to chat to us.
Thanks, man. You too.
Skrillium there, the race winner tonight here at Interlagos in race number 2. Chased down by Just Who finishes in 2nd place in the end. Welcome in, Lucas. Good to have you with us. 2nd place by 7 odd seconds, but the most positions gained in that second race, I think, is the more important statistic for yourself through that one. How was it?
Yeah, it was little cleaner than the first race, which was nice. But I knew I had some spots to make up, so I knew I had to get it on, and luckily it worked out that time a little better.
Tell us a little bit about that first race and what happened to you there. We didn't see all of it, but we saw quite a lot of what you were involved in terms of battling anyway. How was the first race?
First race, both Skrillium and I had a qualifying penalty, so we had to start from the back. So I was trying to just work up through with him. Got to the point on the front straight where he was able to clear a 3-wide situation toe put me right in the middle of the 3 wide, and then me and the inside car just got pinched down by the outside car. Nowhere to go.
So when you look back at the season as a whole, I mean, at third place, sorry, not the season as a whole, but these 2 races as a whole, we both thought anyway, but from watching here that you look particularly quick today. It makes it sound like we're saying you're not normally, but you look particularly quick today. I mean, was Interlagos a circuit you were particularly looking forward to? Is it a circuit you get on with well, or a circuit you just clicked with today?
I think it was more of just a today thing. Usually, I'm not up at the top here at this track. I don't dislike the track, but it's not one of my favorites, so I don't spend a ton of time at it.
Sorry?
James is not like you for that.
Sorry, did you say something that you didn't like the circuit?
No, he did
Correct.
say that. He said,
Have at me.
Well, I'm not. Every championship needs to finish at Interlagos, regardless. It is an awesome circuit.
I mean, I'll take it over Abu Dhabi, but
crikey,
yeah, definitely on that one.
That's there's not going to be much backlash for that. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Shout out to my dad and for tuning in, my wife for letting me do this, and my teammate, even though he wasn't able to make it.
Absolutely. Congratulations on second place tonight in the second race, Lucas, and thanks for coming to chat to us as well.
Yep, thanks, Ewan.
Thanks very much. That was even just there in second place here tonight in the second race, and perhaps more importantly, third place in the championship. Let's bring in Bozak, who's third place in the second race. Welcome in, Bozak. Good to have you with us here for this one. I mean, you were catching it just at the end there. You were there or thereabouts. So late spin, of course, denied you any chance to actually go through. But how were those final few laps for yourself in that little battle?
Oh man, it was great. I was finally learning the car, and then that turn came up. I pushed a little too hard under the braking and hit the curb, and I couldn't keep it together.
It happens when you're pushing that hard, I suppose. When you're looking back at the season as a whole, you and Notvin, of course, just narrowly missed out on the team's championship, but you've managed to bring it down to the final race. You still had a chance in that final race, and with you finishing on the podium, there was even more of a chance of that. Of course, Notvin's crash maybe putting that one to bed a little bit. But how do you assess the season as a whole, not only in the team's championship, but for your own personal performance as well, which I believe has seen you finish in 6th in the driver's standings?
Yeah, I think it was a good season in terms of team points. We were really close, but I don't know about how close, but it was close enough for me. But for me personally, I had started learning this car too late, and I guess I couldn't catch up on the points well enough. So I guess next time I do want to learn this car better, but at the end of the day, we'll see how that goes.
I certainly will. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammate for racing with me, keeping my head together. And then I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting this whole race. And I'd like to thank my friends if they're watching.
All right, congratulations on third place in race 2 tonight, and thanks for coming to chat to us.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good day.
Thanks very much, Buzz. In third place tonight here and Interlagos in race number 2. Well, that's just about going to do it for us tonight, and indeed for the season as well. You've got your wish, James, of having the last round at Interlagos, and it certainly delivered as well. There was plenty of racing going on throughout. The team's championship battle in the end settled with more than half an hour to go in the end, but it was a long shot anyway, as we were discussing beforehand. So that one was not too much of an anticlimax, because it was what we were expecting, in a sense, deserving champions in the form of Backmarker Motorsports, of course. But yeah, a good way to end the season, and a lot to look forward to for the future now in the next edition of the Sprint Series.
Yeah, it should be interesting, I think, as well. Obviously, we haven't got any calendar dates or any confirmation that we're even coming back, Mr. O'Leary. But I think at the end of the day, what we have seen of this season has been great. There's been some great interactions with the drivers, great racing, and this one wasn't any different. They might have to learn how to go 3 wide, and Ammerman might need to learn to go left and right. But at the end of the day, it was great action, and that's all we really wanted out of a broadcast, really.
Absolutely. It's been fun to be here for the last few rounds of the season. Thanks very much for tuning in, everyone who has over the course of these final few rounds. But for now, I guess I'll direct you to. I think there's one more. Is it one more round of the endurance series to come next week? So yeah, one more. So make sure you come and join us for that. We'll be live same time, same place as we are for this broadcast, just with one long race rather than two. So it's same fun but with one race. So there you go. Make sure you join us again in 1 week's time for that. For now, though, for myself, Ian Leary and James Parfitt, and everyone at the J2iCS Super Formula Light Sprint Series here in Season 7, it is goodbye for now.
Thank you.